Hi, my friends and family, and welcome back. If you haven't been here before, this is Trey's Timeless Now show on Trey's Myths and Tunes channel on YouTube, Odyssey, and Rumble, where we learn what it takes to wake up and get real with the Great One. And today, I'm going to talk about personally something I have a lot of experience in, and that is how you can use cannabis in your awakening and healing process and use it to help you to heal your body. And so this video is also about YouTube and trying to work with it in your healing. So, bridging those worlds, this video is called Ganja Windows in the House of Bull. Turn me loose. Turn me loose. 'Cause Babylon is falling. The rules made by the dark side are corrupting and rusting now. And if you obey the bullshit, you're gonna have to soon check out. So turn it loose, 'cause self-respect is when you choose to have respect for all you do. Ganja Windows in the House of Bull. Zen Master Suzuki Roshi said something like, to the effect of, there is no enlightened people, enlightened masters. There are only enlightened moments or flashes of enlightened experiences, something like that. So the idea is that, everybody goes through it, and enlightenment is an experience we have. Well, this of course brought me to the recollection of many moments I've had with cannabis where it made me think I was enlightened, or it made me feel in touch with the divine because I was so high on ganja. So today I'd like to discuss cannabis experiences, or even a daily ritual in the context of someone who intends to heal their body, mind, soul, and spirit, and ascend into fifth dimensional awareness or attain enlightenment in this particular 3D lifetime, to become multidimensional in this lifetime. As a disclosure, let me also say, of course, that this information is for spiritual students who are over 21 years of age in a legal state or country where cannabis is legal. I'm not supporting breaking the law. I've said it before here. Cannabis can minimize or exaggerate or exasperate any emotion or illness. Why? Because if the quality of the cannabis is really low, it could make it worse. The only way that cannabis can really be a healing agent, from my experiential knowledge, is if you have sun-grown or greenhouse flowers grown organically with little to no mold, ideally grown with love. Ganja, as I've said it before here, folks, ganja can give folks an open window or vision of the divine, a window of their blueprint or what they intend to do with their lifetime, or their sacred intention for this portion of their life. Yet, it is only a master of awareness, is only a true master of awareness, or a very talented, courageous soul approaching mastery, that can actually live out their dream right now while high on cannabis all the time, or most of the time. Why is that? Because it takes someone very masterful to get around the psychological battles and hurdles that would be hurled at you, that would be required to actualize their dream. Because, as we said before, cannabis is going to, bring up all your stuff usually. So getting real high on organic sun-grown or greenhouse ganja can give you a glimpse of enlightenment, or a glimpse, if it was CBD, of how you feel totally at peace, or a glimpse of a wonderful future or beautiful life. But only a truly great soul can jump through that open window and live their dream now without failure. Due to the obviousness, once you realize what cannabis does, it can open up it opens up you multidimensionally, temporarily. It doesn't just temporarily get rid of most illnesses, if not all of them, temporarily, depending on what your biochemistry, your particular body type, mind type is. It can because a dirty shadow, or obstacles in the rearview mirror, as we call it, will usually constantly or consistently block the dream from coming to fruition. So look at my history, all the songs I've written that were inspired by cannabis. They might have made a decent song, but it was up to me to play the music for people, or to market it, to give it, to share it, to sell it, to put it out there. So if it was indica dominant, or you're a lazy type of person, it's not going to be able to do the work for you. It's not going to. You've got to be a really disciplined, strong-willed person to be able to live your dream in the context of a daily or a customary relationship with cannabis, or it's going to feed your archons. For if the individual is totally or mostly even unwilling to do the shadow work, you just open the floodgates for these demons to come in and manipulate your personality, interdimensional parasites. And if people think that, if you think the ganja will do all the shadow work for you, then you are quite possibly gravely mistaken, at least financially, if you don't grow your own. For if it becomes a constant habit with no tolerance breaks, and this is how you can force yourself to do the cursory basic shadow work, is once you get to that point, especially if you have cancer, which makes it worse because it might grow in that point. But if you don't have any illnesses that you need to take for cannabis, and you want it to help you more psychologically, once you take even one day, but let alone 1, 2, or 3 days, or a week off, or a month, if you take over 30 days off, it'll reset your tolerance completely. So when you do this, you're going to have to face those parts of yourself that cannabis soothes. Okay? So people with trauma, people with narcissistic abuse are looking for things outside of themselves to soothe them, and cannabis is perhaps possibly the most soothing thing there is. So taking that away, if you don't meditate and if you don't do the psychological shadow work, you're liable to have some screaming or depression in those days. You're going to feel every horrible thing that you're hiding from yourself, which again is why I feel that cannabis, for some people, possibly such as myself, who are so repressed, or so have so much DIY in their psychology that they think, that they're not, or they don't want to become physically addicted to something or another person, that they need something outside of themselves to do it, a psychedelic substance, a plant. But when that's a crutch, when you think it's going to do it for you, you are heading for, the road to hell based in selfish good intentions. Okay? So, if it becomes a constant habit with no tolerance breaks or self-discipline, it can become throwing almost all of your money down a black hole to feel a little bit less bad. It is not physically addictive, yet for most folks it can often be very mentally addictive. So as I've said before in the other videos I made about cannabis, people who live here in California, who take it all the time in some place like this, they actually think that they're as laid back as they are when they're high. And this is what causes them huge harm, because the day comes eventually, when they don't have cannabis and they get to see how actually angry they are, or conversely, if they're depressed and they think they have energy. This could be me. If I think I have all this energy and it's because I'm usually taking sativa. Well, then when I don't have this sativa, then I get to find out. So again, if you make this wonderful, powerful, healing plant medicine into a permanent daily crutch, it ends up being a zero-sum game in the end, okay? So, as it tends to alleviate most illness, sometimes greatly, temporarily. If you are psychotic, it can trigger a psychosis, especially if you're a chronic cannabis user, daily user, and you don't have it. Particularly if anytime you're smoking indoor cannabis, it can cause, if you have a tendency to be a crazy person and your behavior can draw that out. Also, the idea for this video was inspired by watching the Cali Roots live stream on YouTube 100 miles away here in my tent last night, watching Damien Jr. Gong and his brother Marley, and I thought, wow, Bob Marley named his youngest son after a name of the devil. Now, why would he do that? They put on a pretty decent show for this as rich and popular as they are. The Cali Roots YouTube live stream is free and it's fun to watch. But, honestly, I wouldn't necessarily want to be there live at the Cali Roots Festival anyway, even if I had the money and the motel and all the amenities. Because that delves into the dark side. Honestly, I probably would. But on a small occasion, a small percentage of your festival experiences, you actually experience these shadow realm aspects to psychological addiction to a substance. So you see, cannabis can attract massive archontic entities, predators, ghosts, and anti-life entities. Okay, I see it all the time, every day in this town over here. All these stoners, we're not every day, but I often see that people who, and even within my own self, parts of me that I haven't healed, that I hide from by self-soothing with ganja. I can be such a hypocrite. I'm at that level of awakening when I can talk about it and not do it. And so many of us can get stuck in that, and the cannabis can help us to get stuck in that phase where we're still afraid and we don't want to admit it. Looks like the lizard's trying to get in the video again right now. And so, actually, weed or cannabis can make you feel so good and relaxed that all kinds of spirits try to lock you in or jump into your aura or lasso your soul through the mental addiction, or they want to hang out with you and play with you or fuck with you because of your lassitude, because you're relaxed, or because you're willing to hide parts of yourself in the addiction. You see, any addiction can actually harbor really, really powerfully destructive anti-life beings. So, cannabis addiction without tolerance breaks or days off can be very detrimental to your awareness in the long term. The glimpse through the window just eventually, through habit, becomes the only way you feel the warm sun on your face, and then later on down the road, the only way you feel anything if you're really screwed up and not connecting to other people. It is ironic. Isn't it ironic how scared the big boys, the robber barons are of ganja, particularly because throughout the 20th century, they seem to be, frantically searching, endlessly funding all these researchers to find the magic bullet to cure all illness, they claimed. And it's particularly ironic because cannabis really is that magic bullet, or at least temporarily it alleviates almost all illness. And of course, it was a lie that they wanted that even. It was just they were looking for something that would make the most money, right? So they always wanted, searched endlessly in the past, yet it will never do. Cannabis will never do as that magic bullet because it has one great big caveat. Okay? You cannot use cannabis to control everyone. It does not necessarily harm people or create physical addiction. It does not cause side effects. It does not weaken people. It does not give them a way to consistently cash in. So, although it psychologically does, there'll never be a Gates or Rothschild line of cannabis because it doesn't fit in with their objectives. This leads back to the title of this video. Yes, I feel for sure with the resources, if you have legal property in a state where it's legal to grow your own cannabis with a greenhouse, access to sunlight, and you do it organically, you can attain Ganja Dao, or a balanced homeostasis relationship of health with your sexual partner and your physical body. If you learn how to take cannabis in a healthy, balanced way and not take too much, you can learn to discern how to get back into mind-body homeostasis, peace, full awareness, and respect as you awaken into the original, timeless now of the divinity, getting to actualize itself as you. The great work, as it's called, the most amazing journey. Yet YouTube is like a massive corporate government experiment that is in some occasions literally a free store. When this thing called YouTube was invented, I thought, well, the age of Aquarius is here. Interestingly, it's a sun sign Aquarius. It was before it was purchased. And so I was so amazed. I still have some level of wonder over 20 years of working, of learning here with this platform called YouTube. But the thing is that it has its issues. And its issue is all about control. Literally being a free store of many, many millions of videos, giving freely, and amongst these are at least hundreds, if not thousands of videos with wisdom, often mixed with hubris, of questionable sources, sometimes from accurate sources. And that, of course, is one of the obvious reasons, the open reasons why Mohan says he's only going to support authoritarians. Some people may think I'm enlightened. Some may notice my flaws, errors, weak spots, blind spots, or shadow works I have yet to have done. It's so easy for us to see glaring things that are wrong with other people, but not see them within ourselves. And so, honestly, it was the near-death accident was a huge factor in why I even had the courage to begin this, although I was into self-help books for 30 years prior to that. Some people deem me as an unworthy teacher because I upload videos from a campsite, and surely Alphabet is one of them, unfortunately. But, maybe we could turn that around, the misperception, false perception around. I mean, look at the amount of hours I put in. Look at the notes. Look at the notebooks I filled up with words to put on this channel. Yes, I'll admit, I'm not 100% healed. So I still suffer anxiety. I still have things in my mind and my body that I need to heal. Yet after the accident, the crash I had in 2021, my role that began residing here on my Chiron line grew stronger. In other words, being the wounded healer grew real, or much more real, and I began the service. For I freely upload hundreds of pearls of wisdom to give to all beings in the House of the Bull, YouTube. Why do I call it that? Well, you see, the idea for this notion was gleaned from a video I was watching today from Robert Edward Grants, who is a what's called a polymath on his YouTube channel. Pretty brilliant guy, and he said he was talking about the letter A, or the word alphabet, and the Jewish, or the ancient letter Aleph, and I forget which mother language he meant, but he said that the term alphabet, or the name for our language, an alphabet, derives from alpha, which meant house, and bet, meaning bull. So I find that very interesting, because that after its start in 2004 or 2003, less than 20 months later, YouTube was purchased by Alphabet Incorporated. And so, otherwise known as Google, merged with CIA and YouTube, or Google, CIA, YouTube, I sometimes have called them. YouTube is Alphabet, and I've uploaded over 450 wisdom videos to this heavily censored and very well loved big corporate government public platform. After getting shadow banned, most all comments seem to be deleted. I mean, after all those videos, I've gotten less than like 10 comments. They don't even realize how socially moronic it is to delete comments. Am I that boring? After, again, that last question I had was exactly one of the main key psychological operations behind the shadow ban. After getting shadow banned, most all comments were deleted or prevented. I was made to believe, again, what they wanted. I was made to believe, or they tried to make me believe, that I was talking into a vacuum. Was I casting pearls to swine, or throwing them into a black hole called the shadow ban? And or was I giving pearls of wisdom to the divine in all minds? Which is it? And or? I want to clear the air. Honestly, I'm enough of a student of Buddhism to recognize how pathetic, anger and hostility toward people is. And so I really have no animosity towards Alphabet or YouTube. But I would like to get off the big bad black ops algorithm shadow ban list. I really would like for them to have the courage, for the beast, the AI beast, and Neil Mohan and the CIA employees, to realize how wrong-headed it is to do anything to harm me, and they need to take me off the shadow ban thing. And I ask all beings involved to note, when all this is said and done, when all this has been exposed fully to the full extent of shadow banning is fully exposed to the public, it's going to be known the reason why. Why you had to hide my videos. So I ask all beings involved to note, I preach harmlessness, discernment, discipline, and like Paul Levy, I consider myself an antipsychotic teacher in many occasions, here to help. And Alphabet or YouTube, as well as myself here, we reside in, two of the most expensive counties in the whole USA, where people work 3 jobs to survive. And so if the House of the Bull thinks that I am unworthy of having my audience because I upload videos from a campsite, it just goes to show that they are, it's a pathetic classism of the archetype of the House of Bull. So consider that in certain ways, YouTube, I have proven myself to be professional. If you, of course, since you're all in the religion of money and forced to be capitalist, and also perhaps the religion of technocracy, I'm not saying I'm a professional with technology earning, but by learning how to do skills and heal myself in certain ways and sharing. I am not what Sam Vagnon calls a self-styled expert. I am just someone who, after having several deadly illnesses, which I mostly healed for decades, and a near-death accident in 2021, studying self-help healing techniques for 30 years, I decided to attempt to be myself online on YouTube, Odyssey, and Rumble. That's it. And eventually, pretty soon, actually, a website. So Sam, I'm not trying to say I'm a self-styled expert. I've suffered from narcissistic personality disorder, but I'm not fucking pathetic enough to have it. Likewise with borderline, and depression, and even depression, all of them. And sure, if I don't have cannabis, it's very easy for me to say, oh, I just feel depressed and I don't want to do anything. But I did make 2 videos back in South Carolina, the DIY video and the video about the Hippocratic Oath during my 10 days off cannabis. So it was nice to pull it out anyway. So, we all can do this. We all can move out of our comfort zone, and every person watching this, there's a possibility that you could realize the importance of what I'm saying, man. But by learning and sharing is how I feel that I've proven myself to be worthy of my actual audience that I work my ass off to get. My 100 subscribers that I had to work very hard to get to tune in, partially for that same reason. And all CIA or Alphabet employees and Neil Mohan must see that what they do to me, they are doing to themselves. Every single bit, every lick of horrible crimes to dirty looks and bad vibes I give to you, I give to myself. That's the way it works. I am here to expand awareness, love, and truth, and to help us all remember the frequency of Christ, and to attain and remain in the divinity rather than fight each other or kill each other or be spiritually pathetic morons like the fake-ass controller junior gods. To teach people how to heal, the first steps I've fully learned, especially not to fight or be controlled. I'm trying to, like, talking about cannabis here. When I'm doing a good job, I find that I'm often teaching people things I've already learned about how to heal or awareness. And I've had a lot of experience with cannabis, so that's probably why this video is getting pretty long here. So I am not on YouTube or anywhere or on Rumble to fight or to be controlled. Now I have about 5 people on who have emailed me from Rumble, seeing my videos on Rumble. I don't know if they work with Rumble, claiming to want to be my agent or to help, to help me share the truth, to help share my videos on Rumble. And this has been, given me cognitive dissonance, honestly, and and stirred my, any remnants of narcissism, or my ego, but also just made me think, oh well, this is all because I don't know about marketing and how to do the technical, the technical parts of running a YouTube or Rumble channel. And so to all of you folks who are reaching out to help me, I have to say thank you so much. And I apologize if it was offensive that I didn't email you back, and it was because I was uncertain. Will you work on commission or pro bono? Do you require that I pay you money in advance before you share my videos? Did you notice I'm making them from a place in the forest? Do you have examples of your work, the names of channels you can show me where you can show evidence that you greatly increased their viewership? Of course, like I say, I'm still a novice around gadgetry. I only got an Android for the first time a couple months ago, and I hadn't had a cell phone for 25 years, so I'm really a new boy around gadgetry, marketing, and if you intend to use that against me to control me, I will notice, and it ain't going to happen. Or just make money off. If you're just in it to try to make money off me because you think I'm talented, it's still not going to work, because every intention behind every act we do to other people, it affects the results. So if you want to be on my team and you want to be a distributor of these videos, I would be willing to consider paying you to do it, but you're gonna have to let me know that you're in it for the heart. You're in it because you want to help people awaken. Okay? And some of you did, just due to paranoia, I can't really be certain, but some of you did really convey that, and I've got an email back, but it's, as I said, procrastination attempts to be a nail in my coffin if I'm not really careful. And I still don't feel it to be worthwhile to go down the stink hole of social media and even X, because not only is it controlled, but it's just so disgustingly negative and full of, things that you could say was loose drip feeding and troll behavior. To my social disadvantage, obviously. I mean, just because I made a playful comment on a Rumble video, my mother gave me a cell phone, and I took it just to meet and text Laura Eisenhower and make these videos longer and make thumbnails for YouTube. I was sick of having them to be 15 minutes and not be able to make a sign, so I finally got a microwave cell phone after 25 years, and now I have to say that I finally have compassion and empathy to people who scroll the fucking damn little microwave little screens all day. Because tragically, in that sense, I've turned into a normie in my tent here, scrolling for hours in the morning. The only difference is I spend way too long scrolling only healing videos on YouTube. So now I have empathy toward people that do that instead of condemning them and being terrified that they won't be able to reproduce when I see that. But of course, I'm keeping it probably at least a yard away from my body and not looking at it, so it's a little bit different. So yes, I must do the work to fully become a divine Christ being, 100 or 96 or 87% of my existence or life, and not be a hypocrite, at least. And if no one can do it for me, and no one can do it for me, it's just not possible to awaken someone else. That's why the ancient guru thing was most often this big, as Terrence McKenna called it, like a New York shell game hat trick, Who's enlightened? Am I enlightened, or is it you? Or gee, you are you? Or Shaktipat, slap you in the middle of your shoulder blades, and now you're enlightened. A few of my friends have claimed that they knew people that could do that, but I don't really buy into it, because it's just this experiment wasn't designed to make it easy like that. So no one can do it for me, just as I cannot do the shadow work for you. Balanced, respectful, healthy cannabis usage can give you a window into the Tao. or an enlightened, give you an enlightened experience. Ease your depression and your worries and your anger and your bullshit drama if you're smart, and let you feel the divine temporarily, because it is a divine psychedelic plant that was placed or put here on this planet, in my opinion, besides to help us heal and to relax and to get horny and make creations and be creative. It's here to help us with the ascension and to wake up into the Christ. So it can give you a glimpse into the window of the Tao, the divine mind of nature, and you can even get a very beautiful vision, or even 200 visions of them through the lens of getting high on Ganja. You can see a glimpse of the Tao in the House of Bull, or Alphabet, or YouTube, as in other words. Yet, like my distorted relationship with Neil Mohan, or Joe Rogan smoking a joint with Elon Musk, you must be careful in the free divine jewelry and china shop, or divine spiritual jewelry giveaway shop we call YouTube, has the heavy price tag of being controlled by the loving, controlling, fearful, beastly bull we call the Google, CIA, YouTube. Which again can be helpful, very wonderful. But it is also, until it 100% stops obeying the dark side, it is the house of a psychological bull, because it's afraid, yet it's powerful. It has enough power to destroy everything in that house. Yet it is a kind beast. It is a kind beast that lets us watch Cali Roots all day today for free on its live stream. I mean, that's a wonderful thing, and I love YouTube, honestly. But you have to be careful. You have to be light in this house, yet enjoy your learning. Peace be with you, folks. And if you haven't already yet, subscribe. Go for it, and I'll send you. Click the notification bell, and they'll send you more videos like this. And if you want to hear more gnarly truths, go to Odyssey.com or Rumble.com, and I'll go deeper into the mind control and the violent weaponry. And you know what, folks? If you have the courage to do so, I know that there's a strongest chance that you can reclaim your free will now and create a great one, my family.